Good to see everybody. So first off, we want to thank you for joining tonight. We want to welcome you all tonight. We're pleased to gather tonight with the City of Livingston community to talk about some of the updates that we have going on in our community. My name is Christopher Lopez. I'm honored to be the interim city manager for the City of Livingston, and I'm really happy to be with you all tonight. To open the program, please welcome Acting Police Chief John Ramirez and CAL FIRE Bat Chief, who had to leave, to lead us through the Pledge of Allegiance. So thank you for that, Acting Chief Ramirez. Today we're joined by several of our region's dignitaries and or their representatives. We'd like to extend our gratitude for their attendance. I'll acknowledge them by announcing their names, so please hold your applause until they've all been announced. So representing the County Board of Supervisors, representing District 1, Rodrigo Espinoza. Representing State Assembly District 27, State Assembly Member Esmeralda Soria. Representing Senate District 14, Senator Ana Caballero. And representing the 13th Congressional District, Congressman John Duarte. So thank you all for being here tonight. And with that said, thank you for all the work that they do in representing the Central Valley and in particular the City of Livingston. I would also like to individually recognize the members of our City Council, Councilmember Maria Soto, Councilmember J.T. Mann, Mayor Pro Tem Gurpal Samra, and Councilmember Jason Roth. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your leadership. I'm very honored to work for such a dedicated and engaged City Council, and it gives me a lot of satisfaction to be able to carry out the will of the City Council and see the progress that we've made over the last 10 months that I've been here. I know that each one of you is dedicated to improving the quality of life for the Livingston residents and the community, so thank you. Again, we're really pleased to have you here tonight. We're really looking forward to the updates from Mayor Moran and hearing about the things that are currently underway in the City of Livingston. I'd like to highlight a few members of the team before we get on to the highlights tonight. Those that helped coordinate the evening tonight, Monica, Cindy, Selene, and Adriana, thank you so much for everything that you do. We're extremely thankful to have you a part of the team, and thanks for making this night possible. We're extremely fortunate to have you as members of the team, so thank you very much. So now on to the main event for tonight and what you've all been waiting for. Jose Moran was elected to a 4-year term on the City Council term in 2020. His experience in the manufacturing industry, sales and management, the entertainment industry, and teaching has provided him a comprehensive, unique, and diverse skill set to the City Council. In 2022, Councilmember Moran decided to run for mayor to restore government transparency and rebuild trust. In November of that year, Councilmember Moran was elected as the City of Livingston's mayor, and he did so with a remarkable 72% of the community vote. That's pretty neat. Jose Moran arrived in the United States at the age of 12 and attended Gustine Middle School, James Logan High School, and Cal State University Stanislaus. Many of you may or may not know this, but he is currently going to graduate school right now. He is married to his best friend, Clara, who's here tonight, and they have raised their 2 kids and numerous animals. Jose Moran is a strong advocate in all respects of the word for people, students, community members, and animals. Jose Moran is dedicated to creating great leaders for tomorrow and is currently serving as a teacher, helping instill leadership habits for the future. He is also president of the Livingston Lions Club and still manages to prioritize time with his family, community events, and everything else in between. So one thing that I will share, that I know Monica knows this because I tell her the next morning usually, that even with all of the mayor's leadership roles, it's not uncommon to receive a text message, email, or other correspondence at all hours of the night. I don't think he ever sleeps because I know I see those messages come through at all times, including midnight, 1, 2, or sometimes first thing in the morning, F5 in the morning. So that just shows his dedication and how committed he is to just improving the city of Livingston. He is certainly one of the most hardworking mayors I've ever had the privilege of working with. It gives me great honor and privilege to introduce the mayor of Livingston, Jose Moran.
Good evening, everyone. Well, can you tell I'm nervous? Well, good evening. It's so nice to be up here in front of you. Thank you for the warm introduction. And you were not supposed to tell about all those late emails and messages early in the morning. It has been my absolute pleasure to work with you to continue making the city of Livingston a vibrant and great community where we can raise our children in. Thank you all for joining my first annual State of the City address, where I hope you will learn about what we have been up to and what is to come in 2024. The commitment of our staff, the entire City Council, and the community works to strengthen our efforts towards increasing trust in the community and building the foundations for the Livingston future. To my daughter, Angelita, to my son, Alfredo, who's probably watching via YouTube right now at UCLA, and to my wife, Clara, I thank you for your support. To my wife, your strength continues to drive and motivate me to continue pushing forward. And together we have worked towards creating the best opportunities and leaders for the future. Our community has accomplished many, many highlights in the last year. And I am excited to share some of those with all of you this evening. Imagine yourself being one of the early inhabitants of the beautiful Central Valley. Imagine the beauty of the Merced River and the various establishments set up along the river. This valley is home to some of the most fertile lands which provide produce and food to families and countless jobs to those involved in the various aspects of the industry. Today, the community looks much different and we continue to evolve and develop. Thanks to the commitment of our City Council and leadership throughout our community, we are seeing new businesses, new developments, and an emphasis on our core infrastructure. Our employees, who are a key component of our our employees, who are a key component of the positive work that goes on in our community, have continued to provide outstanding services to our community. Through this commitment, we have set the stage for stability and long-term success. It is no doubt that this foundation sets the stage for the future. Much of the work carried out in our community is thanks to our wonderful volunteers. Our 2023 concert series hosted at Memorial Park grew to 6 weeks this year and wouldn't be possible with our very own Mr. Ross Winton, who is a prime example of the quality leaders in our community who desire to continue offering quality, memorable, and enjoyable events for our community. It is no surprise that the City of Livingston prioritizes recreation programming, and much of it would be impossible without Jackie Benoit, who is leading incredible opportunities for the community. From youth baseball, softball, our amazing color run, soccer, and our family-focused Court of Trees, which had its annual lighting earlier this month. This year, we had the opportunity to add programs such as Junior Giants, which is free, non-competitive, and co-ed baseball and softball programs. We were fortunate to have this program in a community which provides over 24,000 youth across California, Nevada, and Oregon an opportunity to play. This program offers equipment, uniforms, program incentives, and coaches training. In addition to that, we brought back swimming lessons for our residents, and we offer over 600 swim lessons to members of our community. Much of this would not be possible with our incredible volunteers. So we're extremely proud and honored to have such a dedicated and committed volunteers to our programs and to the community. Because of this, we will continue to identify opportunities to honor and acknowledge our volunteers. Given the efforts we make to offer those opportunities to our community, it is without question that we are fortunate to call Livingston home. Our desire to engage and connect with the community and build trust with the residents we serve has been a top priority of mine. Within the last year, I have hosted several meet and greet sessions for me to have opportunities to listen to resident suggestions and concerns. These meet and greet sessions, in addition to a spay and neuter roundtable with the same purpose, to listen to you, the residents. As always, please continue to reach out to me via email, phone call, on social media, or text messaging. You, the residents of Livingston, continue to be my best resource to know what the needs and wants of the community are. Earlier this year and during the summer, we hosted the first community barbecue, which had not been done in a number of years at the Max Foster Sports Complex. Our police officers, our fire personnel, and members of the community connected, and over 200 hot dogs and drinks were served by our police officers. The number of smiles, happy faces, and conversations were countless. And I have to give my appreciation to the police officer chefs who truly cooked up on outstanding hot dogs. These type of connections with the community from our police department are critical to building trust with the community. Our plan is that these type of events are only the beginning of broader, sustainable, and long-lasting efforts to build and maintain positive relationships with the police and the community. Our operations continue to evolve, and we continue to expand our operations to provide the best service levels to our residents. Earlier this year, our PD team purchased new radar technology that allows us to respond directly to complaints of speeders and place equipment that tracks vehicle counts, speed, and identifies whether there are speeding concerns that should be addressed. This frees up an officer and allows that officer to do proactive patrol and to be immersed in the community. The tool has been deployed, and we are able to provide direct feedback to the residents who reach out to us about our results. The mental health of our officers is critical. Earlier this year, they received a grant for officer health and well-being and completely reimagined the police department gym. This new officer retention and attraction tool will be used by our officers to offer a healthy manner to decompress and stay in shape, and is serving our personnel very well. We added our first compliance officer to the department this year, He has spent great amount of time in training, developing programs, engaging the community, and addressing quality of life issues, including stray animals, partnering with residents to spay and neuter stray animals, and is responsive to community concerns. To fully understand the impact animal control has had, I want to share just a few details. In fiscal year 21-22, a total of 9 spay and neuter vouchers were issued to members of our community. Only 9. And then also 9 microchips were issued. In the current fiscal year, we have done the following. 51 vouchers were issued, over 50% of the total budget allocated. 64 microchip vouchers were issued. 45 cats have been taken in and placed back into the community in our TNR program. They have been engaged with an animal control roundtable, and residents of the community attended the LPD community barbecue, attended the health fair, the Livingston Street Fair, and participated in the Sweet Potato Festival. Many of you know this, but some of you may not. Livingston is home to one of the only mounted units in Merced County, and it's overseen by Reserve Officer Joe Cruz. Earlier this year, we developed an MOU agreement to ensure this program continues to serve the city of Livingston and ensures that Joe Cruz continues this invaluable program for the city of Livingston. Joe, your volunteer efforts in our community do not go unnoticed, and we are honored to have you be part of the Livingston team. This MOU was a long time in the making, and we can finally say that after 10 years, this agreement paved the way for this program to remain in our community for years to come. Preparing for a large-scale emergencies is something that we must prepare and be ready for. After attending a conference, I learned that our own emergency preparedness plan had not been updated in over 12 years. It was then that I inquired about an update. It is now, and thanks to our interim Chief of Police, Ramirez, that our police department is beginning to rebuild the emergency operations plan specifically for Livingston. And we have kicked off planning meetings with the police department, Merced County Fire, Public Works, and the city manager's office, and other stakeholders to update this much-needed plan to prepare the city of Livingston for emergencies or disasters that may occur in our community. Just recently, we hired two new dispatchers who are currently undergoing their training. These new hires provide us with a fully staffed dispatch center, which has not happened in more than 4 years. Congratulations to the team for ensuring that we attract top-tier talent to provide the backbone to our emergency dispatch center. I would like to extend my appreciation to Acting Chief John Ramirez and the rest of the men and women of the Livingston Police Department for continuing to serve our community. Unfortunately, we did suffer a loss this year. Chief Chuck Hill led the Livingston Police Department honorably, and his untimely death left a large hole for the department and community to grapple with. We continue to think of his family, wife, and his friends, and I know that the community is appreciative of the critical leadership role he held during his tenure with the community. One of the most common themes for the last year has been of change. Earlier this year, we welcomed Roy Santos of the firm Alshire and Winder as city attorney for the city of Livingston. The entire council was involved in the development of the request for proposals and evaluated each proposer before making an appointment. With the assistance of Roy, we plan to begin tackling some of the outdated components of our municipal code and begin to modernize some of the fundamental pieces of how we function and operate. When we talk about the expansion of our city programs, we must also acknowledge the growth of the community that is occurring on the development front. Much of the growth of our community must be brought before the Planning Commission, and we are proud to highlight that our Planning Commission meetings are now being live streamed and recorded to increase our transparency with the hope of increasing community engagement. It has been decades since the city of Livingston updated its general plan, and many of you have brought this up to me. With the last couple of months, the City Council approved an amendment with Mintier Harnish, who will be tasked with completing the general plan and bringing this forward to the City Council. This much-needed document will pave the way for how the city of Livingston will look like and develop over the next several years. In tandem with this item, for the first time in several years, we are actively working with the County of Merced to work towards a long-term master tax sharing agreement that will allow for future annexations to allow for the community to grow. I want to make it clear that it is important that anything that is negotiated and is recommended to the City Council for approval consideration is backed up with facts and is truly in the interest of both parties involved. In our efforts to provide an improved level of service to our community, earlier this year, we brought on board CSG, who has been providing highly responsible plan checking and building inspection services to our development community. We have also expanded our front counter service hours to 5 days a week, ensuring that residents who have questions regarding permits and projects can talk to someone directly 5 days a week. For all of those who enjoy coffee in our community, we are proud that Dutch Brothers decided to establish itself in our community, and we are eager to see them open a location in our community. The staff is currently working with their team to ensure they have the necessary items to pull their building permits. Responsive customer service is a key pillar of what we are aiming for. And at the beginning of January, we will have our very own full-time community development director. I am delighted to welcome Gary Conte to the management team, and we will benefit from having 5 days a week of coverage in City Hall for the Community Development Department. Our Public Works team continues to make strides and improvements around the community. They recently led the completion of one of Livingston's largest slurry seal projects, and the feedback from our community has been great. The teams continue to improve our existing parks, and we are truly fortunate to have such attractive open spaces for community members to enjoy. It is common to meet individuals from other neighboring communities who frequent our parks because of their quality. In partnership with our recreation team, Public Works staff recently upgraded the lights at the Max Foster Basin, further allowing more kids to practice various sports. And we will continue to look for improvements to bring additional amenities to our communities. As you can see, our employees take great pride in what they do. As a mayor, it is important to continue long-standing traditions and to continue cultural exchanges with members of the community, as well as with people from outside of the community. Earlier this year, we kicked off our efforts to reestablish our sister city partnership with Zapotlanejo, Jalisco, Mexico, where we hosted over 10-member delegation from the city to show them the opportunities that exist here in Livingston. The City Council adopted a formal resolution establishing the framework for our partnership. which will set the stage for future exchanges. Those pillars include the following. 1, promoting the agricultural importance in both cities, building on new produce operations in the Central Valley. 2, working together to promote opportunities to exchange information related to public safety improvements, including training opportunities for personnel. 3, raising awareness of business opportunities available to companies in both cities, including opportunities related to business expansion in both countries. 4, exchanging knowledge and sharing best practices in sustainability. 5, to collaborate and support one another by enabling growth and attracting investment. We are also ensuring that we are building bridges with our partners in Washington, D.C. and Sacramento. Earlier this year, I joined a delegation to lobby and advocate for regional issues as well as specific issues here in Livingston. We have taken these discussions to our state elected officials, and earlier this year, we were awarded a $1 million grant to fund a portion of our centralized water treatment plant and storage tank. With this improvement, we will continue addressing one of our biggest challenges, the provision of clean drinking water to our community. The council and I adopted a 1-year capital improvement plan, which serves as the foundation for planning and preparing for future investments in our infrastructure. While it is only a 1-year plan, we need to continue prioritizing planning for the future to ensure that we can provide clean and reliable drinking water. While we have had highlights, we know that we must continue to evolve and plan for the future. At the state level, Sacramento continues to enact legislation promoting water conservation, which means we will be impacted by what Sacramento does. We need to stay committed and focus on ensuring that we are planning for continued efforts to conserve one of the most precious natural resources. A 1-year CIP is a good start, and we need to work towards a longer range plan, and I know that is the direction the management team is working towards. We also know that we will have to increase the staffing levels at our fire station. This will require a new allocation of funding for the additional personnel. And we know that our citizens expect adequate fire personnel to respond when they call 911. Collectively, we must prepare for additional personnel needed at this station so that we have adequate fire response in our community. Additionally, we have addressed the service levels needed to focus on fire prevention and not just rely on fire suppression. We know that there are many things that we can do on the fire prevention side that can make our community safer. And planning for those items and how to deploy those services will require future conversations. As our community continues to grow and develop, I will continue to work with this council and the city manager's office to begin identifying locations for future fire stations, additional park amenities like a skateboard park, and other attractions to continue making our city attractive for existing families and those who might want to call Livingston home in the future. We continue to move forward on the design and development of our rec center, which will serve the community and provide a much-needed space for community events and programming. We know that the cost of construction has ballooned in the last few years. So we currently have an individual who will be tasked with identifying grant funding to shore up the gap in funding for this project. Over the last year, our city departments have diligently worked towards moving the city forward. Our investments across the organization are aimed at improving the quality of life for our residents. And it truly takes a team to get this completed. Our strategic investments in city operations set the stage for future private and public investments, of which we all will benefit from. The programs offered to the community through the city and its partners offer opportunities that many other communities can only imagine. Yet, this is the standard in our community. One thing I hope to promote for everyone this evening is a message of hope and excitement towards the future. Our recent successes serve as a reminder that we can accomplish so much in our community. Our ideas and desires for a skate park, a new fire station, and continued improvements in our water infrastructure will have some impact on the existing community members, but we'll have far greater impacts on our future generations. And that sense of hope and preparation for the future generations means we are acting in a selfless manner, one in which our actions today might make for a far better situation for the future. As we move forward in the coming years, I hope a sense of community is instilled in every member of the community. Each of us holds a piece of Livingston's success, and it is up to us to ensure we build the Livingston we want it to be. We will continue to make room for improvements to our business and nonprofit sectors by engaging the residents and people who care greatly for our city. To those of you who joined us this evening, I appreciate your willingness to hear about the progress in our community. I hope that you all have taken away a small piece of Livingston with you and that you realize that many of the long-standing traditions, people, locations, and events in our community today are excellent foundations for our future. Thank you, and drive safe. Thank you.
Great job, Mayor. That was good. Another round of applause for you. Good job. So thanks for the wonderful updates, Mayor. We appreciate everything that you and the rest of the council do in moving the community forward, so thank you very much. Again, much appreciation to the staff, everybody that came out tonight. That concludes our program. Please get some more food before you leave. Drive safe and have a great night. Thank you.